Hi, Dave here from PB Run Free, and in today's blog post I just want to cover the importance of the diaphragm and airway position. Now the diaphragm, which is this top little muscle here that's hidden a little bit at the moment, that and how it rests is really the foundation of PB Run Free. It's the foundation layer of the performance pyramid, and I'm going to show you exactly why now. So if I just let this video play, as we exhale the rib cage is popping down here, the diaphragm pops up, and that's good. When the diaphragm's up, the rib cage is down, all our abdominal muscles can shorten. Okay, then we get increased intra-abdominal pressure, and that stabilizes the lumbar spine. Now a lot of people, they'll try hold their breath to get this intra-abdominal pressure. And as we inhale, so we take a deep breath in, then we hold our breath to get intra-abdominal pressure when we lift weights, when we do various things. Now the problem here, okay, is that the diaphragm is down. Okay, so the diaphragm is now contracting, but everything else is on stretch. So this is a bad position. Okay, you're just basically holding your breath in terms of your contracting the diaphragm, but all the other muscles are actually lengthening. So it's not the optimal position for the diaphragm. Now what I see in a lot of runners and a lot of clients is this is the actual position that the diaphragm stays at rest. So during the day, okay, your diaphragm, now this isn't expiration here, this is inhalation. Once I let the video go, your diaphragm will stay down here, your rib cage will stay popped up, okay, and then what's going to happen is all these muscles are on stretch. Now the problem with that is that's going to have a massive impact in terms of we get a little bit of an anterior weight shift. Straight away we're going to be pushed forward onto our toes a little bit, our hips are going to push forward a little bit, our low back is going to tighten, and there's going to be massive compensations throughout the body. So as we let the video play, as we exhale, so this is true expiration here, that's why that was there, so please don't get confused. As we exhale and as we inhale, so I'll let it play once more, this is inhalation. Now as we exhale, bang, there we go. Now you can see the abdominals are going to shorten a little bit, and I've got a better video that I'm going to show you in a second, but this position here, the diaphragm needs to rest here optimally. Okay, so, and I'll show you why this is so important for running in a second. Now a lot of runners struggle to get the diaphragm to stretch eccentrically as we exhale. Now as we stretch the diaphragm eccentrically, the pelvic floor, the opposite muscles have to shorten. Okay, now why this is important, a lot of runners have pelvic floor problems and they do a lot of Kegel exercises where they squeeze. Now the problem is you can do all the Kegel exercises you want, if your diaphragm can't stretch, the opposite reaction, the pelvic floor won't be able to shorten efficiently. So that's why a lot of people, the Kegel exercise works well for some people and it doesn't work so well for others, and this is a big reason in my opinion. So if we let this play further, we're going to inhale and we're going to exhale. Now twisting of this rib cage is absolutely massive to get a pre-stretch of all your slings that I'm going to speak about in depth, and I've covered a couple already in the blog. Okay, so we need that rib cage to twist over as our front leg hits the floor and running. Now this is obviously isn't a great video for running or position for running, but you're going to get the idea here. So why our diaphragm needs to stretch, I'm going to show you in the next clip. Okay, so this position of the rib cage is very, very important as the foot hits the floor. So that right foot now will be hitting the floor as the rib cage comes into this position when we're running. Now look what happens. Can you see that the diaphragm's having to stretch as the rib cage twists? Okay, so that position there, which I spoke about already, the diaphragm cannot get into in a lot of patients that I see in clients, because the rib cage can't come down, the pelvic floor can't shorten, there's a massive knock-on effect. Okay, so this is position here, the rib cage would ideally be when the right foot is hitting the floor, the diaphragm pops up, the rib cage pops down, and then we're getting a massive stretch on the back left leg. So this left leg will be behind, and we're creating a massive sling from here all the way up to the opposite shoulder, and also another sling from the hip flexor right up here, so your iliopsoas muscle. Now if I let this play again and we just let this work its way out, you can see inhale, diaphragm comes down, exhale, diaphragm pops up. That twisting motion so important to running has to couple with the diaphragm popping up into the its little home there, which creates the motion. So you can do it. If you arch your back slightly, your diaphragm's going to be down, your rib cage is up. It's very hard to twist side to side. That's going to result in a lot of backache, tight backs when you run. Whereas if we get that diaphragm to rest in the correct position, okay, and I'll give this guy credit, these are brilliant videos for teaching. If we get that diaphragm to rest there, okay, it's so much more motion in the rib cage. The benefit of getting that motion in the rib cage is you're going to preload your slings, okay, those elastic bands that's so important to running, and then your running is going to be effortless and energy efficient. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you if you're interested in learning more about the diaphragm and the how it can help your running, and also how it corresponds to our foundation layer in PB Run Free, I'm going to put together a 7-part, okay, 7-day free course, an introductory course, so you can get a little bit better knowledge, but more importantly, how you can take action and change how your diaphragm is sitting on a day-to-day basis. More importantly, getting it mobilizing, so before you run you can get this optimal mechanics happening and coupling of the rib cage, the pelvic floor, and the diaphragm, so that you can then ultimately load your elastic bands, okay, as I like to call them for simplicity, and then get more energy efficient running. So that's why the diaphragm airway position is the foundation of PB Run Free. And a lot of people, you know, I'm sorry if I insult anyone, but they waste their time doing glute exercises and abdominal exercises when the diaphragm is stuck down. Okay, the diaphragm is, sorry, we'll get the video up for you, is stuck there. Okay, so the diaphragm is here, it can't stretch, and a lot of people are trying to shorten these muscles. They're trying to shorten the gluteal muscles when all they need to do, okay, is get the diaphragm to sit here. Straight away your abdominal muscles are now in a much better position to contract. And this stuff, you know, it's very simple stuff once you're aware of it. Okay, we can do very easy actions, which is what PB Run Free is all about. It's giving you the tools to make instant changes to your running, okay, to make it energy efficient, springy, through getting all this proper, so we can load the elastic bands, okay, and you can run freely, which is PB Run Free, allowing you to run to your personal best, run freely, and obviously injury free. So that's kind of how we came up with the name PB Run Free. So as I said, if you're interested in learning more, and more importantly taking action and actually changing how your diaphragm can move, then sign up below for our 7-day free introductory breathing training program for runners.